This beef was made for walking. Hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
Hi, I'm Ralph. I'm behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food.
Where he likes to cook and I like to eat.
Perfect combination. And sounds like we got Nancy with us today, Ralph. Nice choice on your music.
Thank you, Nancy Sinatra, who we love.
So here in Michigan, fall is kind of upon us, and it's just starting. And I'm going to turn this down right quick. But we are starting to really think about making things that are very savory and very warm and very hearty, and because we always say we got to put our winter weight on, right, Ralph, to get through the winter.
No problem there.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a beef ragu. Okay, so a ragu is sort of almost a stewy, saucy kind of a dish. You serve it over pasta, noodles, whatever.
You're saucy.
Yeah, stewy saucy.
It's a meat sauce.
Yes. So, move this off just for a second. So, here's what I've got. We're going to start. You can't have a beef ragu without some beef.
Ooh, look at that. Marbled nicely.
Yeah, this is about a 2.25 pound chuck roast, okay?
Looks great.
I'm going to give it some nice seasoning here with just a little salt and a little pepper, okay? But we're going to cut this into quarters, okay?
Okay.
Into 4 sort of even pieces, and that will just make it a little bit easier to cook, to brown. All right, let me do this one. So just cut it up like this into 4 basically big cubes.
So obviously there's no bone in there.
No, there's not. It's a chuck roast. You know, this is what you'd use, we would use for, say, a pot roast. Now, I have got a couple of tablespoons of olive oil here. I'm going to put this in a cube at a time.
Is this to sear it?
We're searing it. So we're putting it down, seasoned side down. Okay, you hear that nice sizzle? And what our job is going to be here, Ralph, is to get this nicely brown on all sides. So since I put in the seasoned side down, I'm going to add seasoning to the other side that didn't get seasoned, salt and pepper.
Top side.
All right, we're just gonna, I've got a large kind of a Dutch oven I'm using here. We're gonna use the same pot for the whole thing. What we're gonna do first is let's get this meat nice and brown, and then we're gonna take the meat out, and then we're gonna put in our vegetables. I got onion, I got garlic, I got celery, I got carrot. We're going to put in some spinach.
Oh, yum.
Okay.
And I see you have some red wine. I bet that's for deglazing?
Yes, the red wine's going in, as is a can of crushed tomatoes. I've got some fresh sprigs of thyme here from our herb garden. You could use dried if you didn't have it. I've got some bay leaves. I've got just a pinch of a little pepper, hot red pepper, okay, for a little heat. And then I've got a couple tablespoons of beef bouillon. I like the liquid, kind of the liquid bouillon, I guess it is, or comes in the jar. Rather than the bouillon cube, it doesn't have as much salt.
And you don't have to wait for it to dissolve.
Right? It dissolves really quickly. Anyways, I'll show you how it all comes. Oh, this is smelling great already. I'll show you how it all comes together in just a minute.
I love that sizzle.
Okay.
So
I haven't tried to sear it on the sides.
Have you turned the flame down on the stove on the crock pot, or kept it the same?
It's like at medium, between medium and medium high.
And you're adding olive oil?
I'm adding a little bit more olive oil here because now we got to cook our vegetables. Okay, I'm going to put those onions in.
And using that that nice flavoring from the meat that it made.
Yep. And so we're going to start with the onion. And we'll turn this down to medium. And I'm going to let this onion soften a little bit.
Boy, does that smell good too.
Doesn't it? That's the other thing. It's like, beef and onion is another one of those incredible combos. So let's let the onions cook for about 2 or 3 minutes and soften. Then I'm going to add the carrots, the celery, and the garlic. Okay? We're going to cook them just till they're soft. So Ralph, our onions are softened. We're going to add 4 cloves of garlic, finely diced. Okay? And this is like 2 carrots, normal size. I don't know, it's probably a little more than a cup. And then 2 stalks of celery, finely diced. Probably also a little more than a cup. Okay. And we're just going to stir that around. These are probably going to cook maybe about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. We want to just get them to soften up.
Okay.
Okay? Ralph, our vegetables have been going 5 minutes. The carrot, onion, celery, garlic. I'm going to add this spinach here, which, of course, you know how spinach is. It always looks like a lot, but it's not. We're going to add that in there too. We're going to let this rub down. And I put that in last because this really cooks so quickly. You know what I mean? The spinach
doesn't take long for it to get
at all
wilted down.
Yeah, and we'll let that do its thing. Let's come over here. I need a cup of red wine.
Yeah, but what does the food call for?
Oh boy, do I need this. But this is a Shiraz, which we like to drink.
I like Burgundy too.
Burgundy's good. I don't have a Burgundy, but we're going to use a cup of this.
Just kidding.
Okay, we always say, right, we don't cook with wine that we wouldn't drink all on its own. Okay?
Right.
So that's for the ragu, and this is for the cook.
Got it.
So we're going to put that in here in a minute and let this... Once the spinach cooks down just a little bit more.
So you don't take that out and then add the wine? You add the wine directly into that?
Yes.
I thought you were going to use the wine to deglaze, but actually...
No, actually the vegetables did a pretty good job.
Right, because of the moisture, the liquid that's in the veggies. And then you did add a little olive oil to the pan after you got the meat out.
I did. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of add everything else. And here's how I'm going to do it. See how that spinach is cooked down?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put in first a little of this tomato paste. Maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. I get the kind in the tube because that way you can just
control it and not have to waste any.
And not waste the whole, or figure out what am I going to do with the rest of this tomato paste.
Did your mom ever used to have cans of tomato paste just sitting in the fridge with plastic wrapped over it?
Always.
Mine too.
They would get moldy.
My mom would call that penicillin.
I'm going to cook this tomato paste in though. Of course, tomato paste is a great thickening kind of agent.
And obviously it's concentrated.
You can smell it. It's very concentrated. But you do want to cook it off. So that's why I always put it kind of in first.
I can smell it.
Okay.
This is a kitchen with great aromas.
Here's our cup of red wine.
I think it's important that you just not use anything sweet. You just want to use
something dry.
Something dry or drier or dryish.
Yeah, dryish. Okay, there's the red
Burgundy, a Shiraz, a Merlot.
Then I've got, what have I got? Like 2 or 3 bay leaves here. We're going to throw the bay leaves in. Our little red pepper flakes, and then our bouillon. Okay, I'm going to put that in there.
So from the garden you got thyme?
I got thyme. You got the money, I got the time. Here's the, this is like maybe, they're all, say 3 sprigs. I'm not going to use all of it. We don't want it too timey. I'm putting this in.
Too timey.
Yeah. I'm putting this in whole. Okay. So then we have our 28-ounce can of crushed tomato.
Now, are you going to take the twigs out later from those from the time, or is there somebody going to chew on it?
No, we'll take it out.
Oh, okay.
Because, you definitely don't want the stems.
I was going to say. So another way would be just to, like, I mean, is there a reason you didn't just take the
I could have just...
leaves off like sometimes
I
you do?
guess you could have.
But what the heck?
What the heck?
We'll find them.
You know.
We'll play... We'll serve it to our guests and play...
Find the time.
Find the twig.
Yeah, see if you can find the time. Now, of course, Ralph, take a look at get a close-up of the pot there. And
I'll stir it for you while you do your
because
thing.
I need to get some water too to go in there. About 1 and say 2/3 cup of water. You know what I'm going to do? We like to do that, right?
Check me out, multitasking. Camera in the left hand, spoon
you.
in the right.
I'm going to use it. I like to use the water to rinse the can.
Mm-hmm. Another trick our moms showed us.
Okay. Now, thank you, Ralph. I can take over. And our meat is going to go back in. I'm going to submerge.
So to continue
Juice
cooking.
and all.
Okay.
Okay. Then we're going to bring this up to bubbling, then turn it down to a simmer and cover it, and it's going to cook 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Okay, and that meat will get nice and tender. We have been cooking away here.
When you're hungry, it feels like days.
I know. It's been a couple, more than 2 hours. Closer to 3 actually, because we got sidetracked.
Okay, so these are the pieces of meat that you quartered.
The pieces of chuck roast that I've quartered. I'm fishing them out here, what's left of them, and we're going to chop this up into smaller bits. The other thing we want to do now is we want our sauce to sort of reduce a little bit, so I'm going to leave it uncovered.
Got it.
And I'm going to turn the heat up, make sure I got all the chuck roast I have. Of course, we have our wonderful spinach
clinging to the tongs.
Yeah, I pulled out, by the way, I when I was checking it earlier, the sprig of thyme had come up to the top, and so I just pulled that out.
Yes, I'm here.
Our pappardelle or wide egg noodles here are done. Okay, we've tested them.
Nice and tender.
They're just how we like it. Look at our sauce. Look at this ragu. Look how thick it has come after the reduction. Oh, there's a bay leaf. I'm going to take that bay leaf out. Some people think it's good luck if you get a bay leaf. I don't know.
So this is the real deal ragu, not that.
It's not right.
Stuff.
Not the other ragu. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move the noodles into the serving bowl here using a big strainer. I do that because one, it allows a little bit of that pasta water to stay on with the pasta,
which is starchy and will thicken up the sauce even
more.
more.
It does. It actually helps the sauce cling to the noodle. The other thing is I really kind of want to keep this while we're having dinner and enjoying. I like the steam to kind of help humidify the house a little bit, and we will just
multi-purpose.
Exactly. Why wouldn't we? We've got this boiling pot of water. So, all right, this is maybe gonna take a little bit here.
So I looked up the word ragu, and it is Italian R-A-G-U, but it's actually derived from the French R-A-G-O-U-T.
O-U-T, yes, okay.
And there are, differences, but the ragu that is Italian is what we're doing, which means meat sauce.
All right.
And that's exactly what we've got going.
Here we go. So, there's that. Beautiful pot of noodles.
Look at that. Look at those pierogi.
And we've had requests to do pierogi. All right, now, here's the sauce. So what we're going to do...
doesn't that look good?
Is we are just going to...
No, don't forget There's wine in this sauce.
Mhm.
There's, of course, garlic and celery, carrots,
Onions.
and, onions, and
Spinach.
so many great things. And then, of course, the braised beef.
All right. We're going to garnish with a little parsley. Bunny Rabbit ate my fresh parsley out in the herb garden, so I'm having to use dry. And then, of course, we're going to put, let's just put a little
nice
Parmigiano Reggiano here on here.
Now, when you first, when Kevin kind of caught me by surprise with this recipe and me scrambling to find some music, and I just said, well, we all love Nancy Sinatra, so
Right.
I grabbed Nancy, and then I realized, that's actually appropriate because her parents were both Italian-American.
And I'm sure they had all kinds of ragu in their house.
I think so.
All right, I got a little plate here. And while we're all anxious to get our dinner, let's just
Give a little taste test.
taste test.
Our friends out there watching these love to see us tasting the food.
So,
Wait a minute, there's no cheese on there.
well, it's probably mixed in. It's hot. But I'm going to get a piece of beef, a piece of spinach.
Don't burn your mouth.
Mmm.
You can see the steam coming out of his ears. Is it real hot?
It's hot, but boy, is it yummy. Noodles are nice and tender. And that's one of these sauces, it had cooked for hours and hours. You can taste it. And it with the vegetables.
Everything reduced and kind of getting to that.
Meat's nice and tender. Yeah.
Hey, save some for our guests.
I will. Well, there it is, folks. The beef ragu. So you know what?
What?
Thank you.